Hello again and welcome to the program. I am Suren. I will start with a question. Do you have the freedom to make any changes in your life? If and when you change yourself, or your opinions, or even beliefs, others around you may or will make adjustments to their lives, hopefully for a better change right now. Is it possible? However, would this improve the human condition as we know of today? That is a big question. Do you see the point? As we mentioned this before, thoughts are electrical frequencies. Therefore, they can generate words, which translate into spoken words, and the languages everybody can understand. Your thoughts are indeed always available, and so you need to know that your thoughts can pull in the experiences for you from the choices you have already made. Thoughts are also self-fulfilling prophecies. In fact, whatever you think becomes real. Therefore, do not be disappointed with the results. Don't put yourself into situations like being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You can harm yourself by mere thoughts alone. And so, what do you call or even classify yourself by your own thoughts? That's a good question too. Shall we say that the Creator might be an organism, perhaps a nucleus of all knowledge and all things everywhere at all times? Omnipresent. This is an awesome concept for any human to comprehend, don't you think? Knowing that you are where you are meant to be, doing what you wanted, being who you are now, and being understood or not understood. For humans around you, not necessarily understands it. So, the talk of today shows you that more knowledgeable you are, the more enlightened you become. And we can call it the freedom. Stay with that thought for a moment. What do you think? How do you think? What happens to you all? For you made a choice in the past. Think about that for a moment. Consider also what is not a choice. Now, there is a link between humanity's thinking and the other connections. Their thoughts and words that happens to be one of their great responsibilities. It is indeed very challenging. Knowing and experiencing freedom happens when giving without expectation of being given back to you, with a mindset of going beyond is also known as the freedom. By thinking, we all can become generous, almost as if ego-driven, in whichever way. How can you then have enough of anything? Giving is living generously, and it is an attitude in gratitude as a liberality for fully experiencing the feelings of self and others. And it really is a better use of freedom. Now, this organism has freed itself by some interest charging ahead to create and recreate, and to bring about a new shape or format, reforming into a new concept, in reality, fulfilling a purpose. Experiencing and expanding consciousness into the outbounds indeed happens all the time and continues like this. How do your shards become created and afterwards turning into the source of light? And it is now time to turn your light on. Now, when those lights are on, the reflection becomes dazzling. Every particle and photon until a nucleus becomes filled with freedom to be eternal. Freedom is a neutral frequency. Next step is the Creator's creation, needing experiences. Thought created an idea into a form, and the creation of light with it is being created, or molded if you like. All the parts being greater than the whole, as the reflected light particles or photons of times past. What was to be done was made known. Know thyself, or yourself, keeping the shards of light in the form of a body or a vehicle, perhaps. The only place made known was planet Earth, as we know, and so far the experiential plane has the greatest creative presence. Following on the reflection, a perfect one with an ever-expanding mind experiences that what was brought into action When one reaches the personal freedom, it is to experience of oneself as a human, having been given free will, is the greatest opportunity in becoming humanitarian. In every endeavor that our capabilities and opportunities showing kindness, caring, respect, and love for all humanity through being charitable and benevolent with the time, patience, and perseverance. Now, to endeavor is your freedom to do whatever needs to be done. Freedom extols the right of choice. What is the purpose for creating light that was for the Creator? Question mark. Time spent experiences what it is all about, but the creation. So light beings, which were the created image of the self. Don't be confused. Physicality and the relativity are now available within the network for the tools to search for expansion. The creative desire is to turn the gift of creation for probabilities and into reality. Until the time when the concept becomes an experience, there will be only speculations, expectations, wanting to know what feelings were and what that felt like to experience, and it was indeed an enigma. Knowing what's important for experiencing, everything was needed to be known. Okay. Acknowledging freedom is a forceful element of three wills at your disposal. We all need to make a wise choice. The reflection of experience was perfection. Splendid creations housed in physical bodies. Can you see the light? And the point? Can you see your own light, your own halo, so to say? Choosing your own joy and all the end results. It is your responsibility for you alone, for have gots and every have nots. There comes a great moment when you know your real purpose, consciously, making the right choices to unite in wonders of the universe in peace and harmony. You have contacted your innate intelligence to arrive at this wisdom. And that is probably why you are here. And we are discussing this matter of importance. Choose life rather than just existing. This is the moment to ground you and me, and finally, we all know. This is a great moment when you finally recognize your purpose consciously, making the correct choices, uniting in the wonders of life and the universe, in peace, as I repeat myself, and in harmony. You indeed have contacted your innate intelligence, and you are right here. Thank you. You can now and will be rewarded with all the things and totally fulfilled. And freedom is also an attitude. It is a mindset. It is a state of mind. It is therefore possible for acumen to say one thing while thinking completely the opposite. A self-expression which can think and say things or behave. Human might not have the higher intelligence to read minds at this stage. How do you take your reactions to what they see and hear? It is so close at hand, and itself will bring a new comprehensive approach to how we live. Indeed, freedom used to become impartiality. This is the power of free will. It is to be free. Choice is the reasoning towards different opinions, cultures, beliefs, and values. Choice needs to be choosing life over just existing alone. Free will is for the use of freedom. Here is no need for a good memory. When you are honest and when you truly need a good memory, make sure that you mean what you say and see what you mean. Honesty is the best policy, a good moral code, and how to live. Trustworthiness is the keystone to belief and trusting your sixth sense. When you believe in yourself, you will feel confident, as we all do. Life's flows and challenges becoming the learning curves. Although this honesty robs the honest and steals from the dishonest, believe it or not. The link of being nice is to fully realizing your potential, to experience all and everything on the earth plane has to offer in your physical life. One of the greatest gifts is that of the ability to experience opportunities for achieving and becoming a reality. And then there is success. When you live in a state of grace within yourself, this becomes the greatest building block to self-worth. Now, you can only feel more confident to rely and depend on yourself. You just will be found truly trustworthy, as all others too can depend and rely on what you say and do. When the Creator is desirous of a given situation, whereby becoming better and better at transmuting from having been lesser into being the greatest experience in itself. Choosing honesty is one great choice that will be the ultimate experience that you can trust in. When you live in the truth, it is to incubate honesty and trustworthiness. So you feel self-insured with confidence, and you know your worth is good. You can rely on your own natural instincts. Where are your health, wealth, and happiness is concerned? You are an inspiration in the wider community. You are capable of more than you realize. When you step forward in making your own decisions, sometimes into unknown areas, you can totally rely on your honesty and trustworthiness. Your stronghold of intention and behavior. You can step up by being expressed in confidence and self-assurance. You are your authentic self. This will always be working for you. You are congruent, at one and unified. Your understanding of honesty in beholden to your trustworthiness, because of being tolerant and inclusive. Trust you will always be at the right place at the right time. Situations are a creative energy, purposely inbuilt and yearning to see self. Did you feel like the light of the day as a reflection in everything that is? You have chosen Earth. And how is the experiment on Earth plane so far? How would the shadow of you would be like to take a different shape or form? What is needed to gain entry onto the experiential play time on Earth? It's a metaphor. Imagine you are applying for a passport to enter into a different country through perhaps yet another country. To get authorization, and what is required is simply an ID. These are what you typically should have, letting you in certification paperwork and a photograph of you and some money. The passport is the official document giving you the permission to travel. And you need also an official endorsement inserted into the passport. It is, as you can guess, a visa. You see, there was specially made vehicle which took the shape in human form. Here is the transport and the vehicle you only need, and your body is your passport, while your visa is your experiences. When both the passport and visa come together, well, that is the approval to experiment within every experience you would explore within the new region of the country. That is your visa. Passport is forthcoming and going with every given opportunity and situation. Honesty within yourself and with others. Telling the truth is that exposure like security. Now, check your points. Freedom to experience is a new territory. Go with an approval. Remember the old saying? You cannot shoot holes in the truth, and the truth shall not be forgotten. And your business dealings can become, indeed, a transaction, because your credit rating is infinite. Although by invitation or by visa, may your words be made known as good, solid, and reliable. Life is always your reflection in the mirror. And remember, what you pay for is what you get. Have you ever shortchanged yourself? Now that is a question. Those who are not aware maybe have their head in the sand, or think that ignorance is bliss. Greed, hatred, intolerance, dishonesty, telling lies, cheating. These are the aspects of terrorism. They are your real weapons of warfare and a battleground. Usually there is a repository of great wealth in particular raw materials. All destruction is creating incurred get by millions of dollars worldwide, and that debt will be recovered easily by them, including you and I, paying taxes? Who is making the decisions? And who is paying the price? You personally, and yours will be paying off the debt incurred until paid in full, as legacy of misappropriation forever will be passed unto your children and your children's children. At the same time, stressing at that exact moment in time, there is the creation of great wealth and riches, all of which is being distributed amongst only the few, you see. This is the double-edged sword. Can you see my point? Well, what do you know? One way to whittle it down into chunks is manageable pieces used to make a good start to change, which can be done. You may make a promise to yourself that you will commit to begin being alert anywhere and have the courage to speak out in any dealings little less than honorable or ethically not sound. Honesty is easy by demonstration. Can we influence the change through the alteration of the blueprint in our DNA? Interestingly, you can make that huge difference by being honest, as it used to be ethical and economical in every thought, word, and deed. To be able to do that indeed is our integrity, our authentic self. And we all can start it right now, when you and I know all, can now think it, see, and then do it. But let us be very careful. Manifesting in creation from thoughts are very subtle, and that is needed for a little discipline, awareness, sensitivity. Remember, where the thought is expressed, life shows up in no other way other than the way you program it. That is the reality. Your beliefs are what you create as your greatest gift, knowing you can do it by yourself and for yourself. Indeed, you create through thought. Thoughts are in progress as words and deeds done. Can you start with yourself as a daily practice, as a discipline? So start it now, and your little word can have a big meaning. If just a small percentage of those dollars to spend on ammunition, warfare was redirected to humanity for health care, education, conservation, and homelessness issues would be benefiting someone along the line. You might think of this whole scenario as being simply utopian. However, trying to imagine that this humanity's spiritual influence can bring some wonderful deeds to fruition. You will have to let your imagination have free rein here. Freedom. Now is the time for bringing some openness and exposure to the surface, and where it deals with compensation for goods and services rendered, in a sense, advantage maintained, and you would see the changes at a global level. This is certainly not utopian. The section alone would bring necessary and needed changes, hopefully profoundly. Could this be started now? Just imagine. Would you start it now? That is, to live with genuine love. And being loving takes really a very nice effort. It is time to turn lead into gold, lower vibrations into higher vibrations now. With that, I shall say thank you for watching. Until we meet again by the next episode. Keep smiling and be happy. Thank you.